Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming out. When we last spoke on Monday, President Smart mentioned three things. One, we would find the best football coach. Two, we would talk to many constituents about the job to get their feedback about what traits they were looking for in a head coach. And three, accomplishing all this within a 2-week period. I sincerely believe we have met those directives. Coach Petrino and I worked together at the University of Louisville in 2006 and 2007. I witnessed firsthand his high energy and how he was able to elevate the program to all-time highs. His passion, knowledge, and ability to teach the game are known throughout the country. Coach Petrino and I have stayed in touch, and when our job opened, Bobby contacted me about the possibility of exploring our vacant head coaching position, which led us to today. At the onset of this process, I believed we need a proven coach who had won at the collegiate level and understands the nuances of being a successful head coach. I believe we need a coach who's an incredible play caller and tactician. I believe we need a coach who cares about his players, wants them to graduate, and be better people. I believe we need someone who is totally compliant with the NCAA. I believe we need a coach who can come into a recruit's home and sell Missouri State football. And I believe we have found that person in Coach Bobby Petrino. And now to make the announcement official, President Cliff Swan.
Again, thanks for being here, everyone. With 119-56 record as a head coach at 3 FBS schools, not only have we hired the best coach available, we have hired one of the best offensive coaches in the history of the game. We've also hired someone who will run a clean program, be compliant in all aspects of the NCAA, and graduate his student athletes. That's been his history. Both areas are important. Both areas are equally important. Gail and I are so pleased that Bobby and Becky Petrino have joined the Missouri State University family. Please give a warm Springfield welcome to the MSU Bears football head coach, Bobby Petrino.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Great job, man. You did an excellent job at the game last night, too. It's great to be here. I'm very, very excited to be in Springfield and be here at the Missouri State University. I'm looking forward to it. I feel like we know Springfield pretty well. Being down in Fayetteville, I used to come up here and watch my daughter golf. She took a trip here, which I came with her when she was being recruited. And looked around and we saw the university. 30 years ago, I came here as the offensive coordinator at the University of Idaho and played a playoff game where basically it was like a tennis match. You guys went down and scored, we went down and scored. We were fortunate enough to have the ball last and ended up winning the game. But I'm really excited to be back as the head football coach. You know, with being away from the game for a year, was difficult. You know, it's never been about a job for me. It's been about a way of life. I was fortunate enough to grow up a football coach's son. I used to get out of school and run 3 blocks and be on the practice field with my father. So it's something that I missed while I was away from it. I was able to feel like I stayed in it because I decided to write a book. And I was working with a friend of mine that's a doctorate of psychology up in O'Fallon, Illinois, not too far from here. And it helped me have a schedule every day. I'd get up and know exactly what I had to do and what I had to send him, what corrections we had to make. And it was a bigger project than I thought it was going to be, but it was a lot of fun and really kept me in the game. And then I traveled around, went to different games, different practices, saw my grandkids. I have 6 grandkids, so that was a lot of fun. But the whole time I was still waking up early in the morning thinking about, okay, what am I going to call on 3rd and 10? So I knew that it was not time to retire and go away from the game. And I'm very fortunate that I have a past relationship with Kyle Moats. And like he said, we knew each other when we were together, and then I always stayed in touch with him. Used to talk to him before the games, and you know, normally before the games you're pretty focused on what you're going to do, but I enjoyed visiting with Kyle, and then Brian Hicks, who was actually in charge of our academics when I was at Louisville the first time, was here with Kyle, so I really feel like I understand it. And then I got to sit down and visit with President Smart, and you know, and after doing the research and seeing what he's done here at the university in all aspects, in education and athletics and student-athlete welfare, and then to be able to look him in the eye and hear his voice and what his vision is, it was a no-brainer to take the job. So I'm fired up to be here. Got to meet with the team last night, which was fun. It felt very familiar, and I was excited for their attentiveness, and I'm looking forward to looking ahead. You know, that's really what we talked about, was, you know, tearing the rearview mirror off and looking ahead and moving ahead. I have great respect for Coach Steckel and what he's done here, and all the hard work that he gave to the program, and I can't tell you how much I respect him. So I'm just going to move forward, look ahead, build every day. We signed a good class of recruits here, but we got a little bit of work left to finish up, and then we'll be able to get in and work daily with our players. So with that, I'll just open up for questions.
Yeah, what just made Springfield, Missouri State attractive to you when you reached out?
Well, again, the familiarity with it, the facilities that are here, the conference. There's no question that it's the best football conference in that division. So it's a great challenge that I'm looking forward to. So I think when you look at the conference and you know, the teams, the great teams that are in it, it makes it a tremendous challenge. And I think that we'll be up for it and look forward to improvement.
There was a FCS coach, FBS coach that was here for 5 years and couldn't get the program in the direction it wants to go. You come in with that same type of experience. What things do you need to change that you're looking at right now to try to get the team in a good direction?
Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to look back or anything like that. We're going to look forward and move ahead. So I think what you need to do is do a great job of recruiting. Go out and recruit young men that have the ability to play football game at this level and excel at this level. We're going to recruit young men that have the skill and the ambition to get their degree, and really understand that they're coming here to be a student athlete. And then you've got to develop them while they're here. And then the main thing is to be able to come together as a team. You know, like I told them last night, we got a bunch of individuals in the room. Each person in the room has to make a commitment to be their best and to spend every day acting and being like a champion. The first thing you have to do to be a champion is act like one. So we're going to work really hard on that on a daily basis. And then each group has to come together. So you got an individual player, and then you got groups, wide receivers, defensive backs, quarterbacks, etc. And then offense, defense, special teams, and eventually bring it all together as a team. So I think we had a good start last night. Like I said, I'm looking forward to getting in the weight room and seeing the conditioning, and being able to get in the meeting room and start teaching and getting better.
I know you said you don't want to look back, but I mean it's been quite a while since football has been really a big thing here. Just what makes you the guy that's going to be able to turn things around? There's been guys who sit in that spot right now and weren't able to. Yeah,
you know, it's when I was a young kid, my father took a job in Montana called Carroll College, and I had two uncles. They're twins, Uncle Mike and Pat, and they were going to school there. They called my dad and they said, "Don't take this job, man. You can't win here." And my dad always believed that you can win wherever you go. You can always find a way to win. And he taught me to reach for the top of the rainbow and don't let the doubters affect you. So all I'm going to do is get up in the morning, work as hard as I possibly can, be very positive, start to grow the energy and positiveness of the players, come together, go out and work on what it takes to win. You know, because it's not just, you don't just show up on the field and win. You know, winning is the end result of doing everything else right. So we're going to work hard every day on doing everything else right.
You said rip the rearview mirror off and keep moving forward. For you personally, with the situations in the past, how strong is it for you to go and try to get this program for yourself too, to turn around and prove that you can turn around a program and win again?
Yeah, I'm definitely motivated. There's no question about that. You know, I've had a lot of great successes, been able to coach a lot of great players, been privileged to be able to do that and bring teams together. But I'm very motivated on this. There's no doubt about that. And like I said, I think it's a great challenge, something that I've always looked forward to my entire life, is seeing a challenge, facing it, and being able to be successful. So I'm excited and very motivated for it.
You brought up the things from the past. Just how have you changed as a person and just learned from everything and the person we see here today?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely, you know, one of the things that I'm going to be able to teach our players is that you're always going to have obstacles to overcome. You're always going to have to work hard on a daily basis. Certainly, I made a mistake when I was at the University of Arkansas. Fortunate enough to have a great wife and a great family, and stay together and work forward, you know, and that's what we did. We were able to go back to the University of Louisville, a place that we love, a place that we put a tremendous amount of energy into, a place we were extremely successful at, and brought a Heisman Trophy winner to. But now it's on to a new challenge, and like I said, it's going to be a daily process, and you're going to get the best I have in me. I can guarantee you that.
The ink is dry on your contract, but have you made calls for a coaching staff, old friends coming with you, holdovers from Missouri State, and when would you like to have that in?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to work hard to get it in as soon as we can. You know, there's obviously a process that you have to go through, but definitely been on the phone a little bit and working on that. Hopefully we can have some announcements coming up here, but it's always a process. And it'd be nice to be able to get everything done and maybe get some coaches on the road next week, Monday or Tuesday, for recruiting. So that's kind of what we're aiming for.
And how about yourself for recruiting? Will you be hitting the trail pretty soon?
Definitely, yeah. No doubt about that. As quick as I can get out there.
Have you spoken?
I have to pass the test first. So like you have to take a recruiting test every year, and when you sit out, I didn't take one last year. So the first thing I'm going to do after this meeting right here is go down and take the test. And I'll probably have to look it up in the book. It used to be like, okay, how fast can I get this done and get 100? There'll probably be some new questions, some new rules that they put in that I'll have to look up in the book and make sure. It's an open book test, so it's not that hard.
You said you met with the team. Have you spoken with any of the recruits that have signed their letters of intent already?
No, she asked about speaking to the recruits, and I actually can't talk to recruits until I pass that test. But that doesn't include the signees, and I'll be able to get that done today, where I call everybody that signed and is coming here.
How difficult is it to get on recruiting this late in the process? You already had a signing period and you had one coming up in a couple weeks.
Yeah, you know, it's really changed with that. It was going to be like an early signing period, but it became the signing day. So it's pretty much, that class is fairly set. My understanding is we have around 6 other scholarships or partial scholarships that we can use, 6 other members that we can sign. But again, it's a process to sit down with compliance and see exactly where we are with the count, what's available, what the needs are, you know, what those 6 positions, what we have to get, and then move forward. So I really don't have a great answer for you on that right now, but I certainly am looking forward to getting it done.
And you're going to honor the people who have signed already?
Yeah, they signed their scholarship, and they have scholarships here and are ready to go, certainly.
Can you talk just a little bit about exactly when you knew this job was opening? You talked to Moats about the job, you approached him. When was that?
When did it open? You know, it's kind of I'm not exactly sure when it opened, but what probably happened is one of my daughters, who look at that football scoop stuff, gave me a call and said, "Hey, did you know Missouri State was open?" And I said, "No, I didn't," because they knew I knew Kyle and that I was very familiar with the area. And you know, we drove a bunch back and forth between Fayetteville and Louisville, because I had children going to school there at the university, and we always stopped here and ate or got gas, and then because of Katie coming here, and we came here one time to go to Bass Pro Shop. Certainly had to do that, and they tell me I need to go back because they got a new aquarium in there, so I'm looking forward to that. So they probably contacted me, and then I tried to get a hold of Kyle. And it wasn't very long ago, because I know when I was trying to get a hold of him, I couldn't. So then I tried to get everybody that I knew that knew Kyle to get a hold of him. And some did and some couldn't. You know, but he was actually down at Frisco at the national championship. And so eventually he called me back, and then we moved very quickly from there.
I mean, you're used to making way more money than you're making in this contract, but it's not about money?
No, not at all. It's not about money at all. In fact, we've taken the coach's salary, reduced it a little bit, put it into the assistants pool, to be able to, you know, help the assistants and be able to get them here. So I missed coaching. I missed the daily grind. I miss working with the players. I miss working as a team, being part of a team, being with the assistant coaches. And you know, I think I see it as a twofold job here, is really working hard with the players and developing young men, you know, to be students, to be athletes, to get better socially and spiritually, so we can be in balance, and that gives you a chance to be very successful. But I also see it as, you know, the opportunity to develop young coaches. And you know, one of the big things about being a head coach is not just coaching the players, it's coaching the coaches. So we're all on the same page, we're all saying the same verbiage, we're all drawing plays the same way. So I really missed that, and I'm excited to put a staff together and see where we're at.
Coached in the SEC. They say that the Valley Football Conference is the SEC of FCS. If we can get all the alphabet things straightened out.
It's a lot of letters.
What is the similarities between the two? Are there?
Yeah, I mean, I need to learn that. You know, I think the biggest thing about the SEC, in my opinion, was the defensive linemen. You know, and the difference of the pass rushers and the people that were chasing the quarterback were unbelievable athletes. You know, my understanding so far in the Missouri Valley Conference or football conference is that the offensive line and defensive line are physical, and the ability to stop the run and play physical brand of football. And you know, I've always kind of been known for throwing the ball and having fun and doing that. But I do understand that to win games, you have to run the football to win games. And whether you line up and throw it first, or you line up and run it first, you do have to run the football to win the games, and you have to stop the run to win games. So that'll be part of the process, and part of the fun is doing studies on each team, what we believe their philosophy is on offense, what their philosophy is on defense and special teams, because it goes into how you set up spring practice. You know, like when I was in the profession a few years back, I didn't like to run the power play. You know, it's just something that I didn't really enjoy, because a lot of teams that ran power really well would go, you know, 3 yards, 4 yards, punt the ball, play great defense, and I like to score. You know, so and then they score in the fourth quarters doing that, and those 3-yard gains become 30-yard gains, because they wear you down. But I've always enjoyed the philosophy as let's come out, be real aggressive, throw it around, score points, get them behind, make them have to throw the ball, and then turn loose pass rushers and hit the quarterback. I still truly believe that to win a football game, our quarterback has to play better than their quarterback. So as we develop what we do, we're going to do it through the eyes of the quarterback.
How'd you spend your year off?
Writing that book took up a lot of time. Working out. What happened at the beginning of having a year off is that stupid clock would not tick. It wouldn't turn. Days were long, and I don't like to watch TV, so it became, okay, what am I going to do today? I went and tried to practice golfing and went to the range, which I never really liked to do. I just like to go out and play. Actually, one thing that you do learn is practice does make you better, even in golf. And I'd play some rounds of golf, but you can only do that so many times during the week. And then I was able to, acquire a computer and football, and, continued to study and work on that. And then travel around, and Becky and I were able to go to see our grandkids and see some football games and, enjoy our time.
Have you looked at the schedule?
Yeah. I'm still here. It's a good schedule. Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Did you pursue other jobs kind of during this off season?
Yeah, I really don't get into a whole lot of that, but I knew that I wasn't going to stay retired. It was just a temporary retirement.
Bobby, if you look at the schedule 3 years down the line, the game at Arkansas coming up in 2022.
Oh, no, I haven't looked that far ahead. You know how I am. I'm focused on one thing at a time. So we get our staff put together, and some of the things that are fun in the off season is not only working with your players, but studying the opening part of your schedule and who you play next. But certainly not going to look down the line more than those first games.
Due to some of the things in the past with just kind of the way you've left the programs, just how committed are you here right now? Just I know it's day one right now. What can you say about that?
Yeah, I'm kind of getting on the other side of the hill a little bit. I feel great, though. I feel very young, very energized, and this is the job that I want. And there's a 5-year contract, and like I told Kyle, I said, if you're going to write a script, let's write a script like this. I come here, I'd be very successful. I decide 8-10 years from now whether I still want to coach football with a national championship in my pocket. That's what I want to see happen.
Do you have a timeline for that?
It's a great question. I said, like, somewhere in there between those 8 and 10 years, we got to get it done. Thank you very much. It's really a pleasure to be here. Appreciate it.